Hello, I'm Andrew Kotzur. In the 40 years that I've been involved in grain storage, a question that keeps coming up every year when we either have a lot of rain or the forecast is to be quite wet is, how wet can I harvest my grain? There's a few things to consider. Firstly, will your harvesting equipment be able to handle the higher moisture grain? Secondly, how early is too early to harvest from the point of view of physiological maturity? And the third question, and the one I want to address today, is how do we handle high moisture grain? Compared to the rest of the world, we tend to harvest our grains here in Australia quite dry. Where we might be harvesting wheat up to 12 or 12.5%, in Europe, harvesting at 20% is quite common. And whilst we don't need to push those extremes, if we can harvest at 14 or even 15%, we can really improve our harvest efficiency and reduce the risk of weather damage to our crops. There are advantages in harvesting earlier at higher moisture. We see increased yield, reduced harvester losses, less damage to the grain, particularly in the case of legumes, and we create a more efficient system for harvesting our grain. The challenge is understanding how we manage that higher moisture grain. We primarily do this by using a well-designed and well-controlled aeration system to keep the grain cool and in some cases to dry it down further. By well-designed, we mean an aeration system that has the required airflows and also the required distribution inside the grain storage. Different crops have different moisture levels for safe storage. Today we'll consider wheat. If we have a good cooling aeration system, we can safely store wheat at 14 or 15% moisture content. If we have a well-designed drying aeration system, we can dry wheat from 18 or even 20% moisture down. Also, if you're handling high moisture grain, think about the opportunity to blend high moisture and dry grain together. We'd always recommend aerating that grain after the blending. We can provide a number of solutions to allow you to manage higher moisture grain. For our hopper bottom silos, we have our plenum designed drying aeration system, and on our flat floored silos, we can provide a full floor aeration system with high airflow. Of course, coupled with the aeration on the silo, it's important to have a good quality aeration controller to ensure the fans are turned on and off according to the weather conditions. High moisture harvest can reduce risk, reduce cost, and improve your returns. The important thing is understanding how to manage that high moisture grain and having the facility to do so. We recommend getting good advice and building experience before pushing the boundaries. If you have any questions, please give us a call here at Kotzur.